Hey everybody, what's happening? It's James here on a maybe late Saturday morning in the West. But yeah, I thought today I wanted to talk about Art Farmer, something I've wanted to do for a long time. And I think I'm finally getting around to it. I love Art Farmer. He definitely gets lost in the shuffle of all the great trumpet players of the golden era, 40s, 50s, 60s, the usual suspects, Lee Morgan, Clifford Brown, Miles, Kenny Dorham, even Blue Mitchell, Fats Navarro. He doesn't get talked about that much, and I don't ever see him shown on the VC. And I'm not trying to be obscure on purpose just to be cool. I love Art Farmer, and I just think he should be discussed more. He has so many great albums. He kind of kept it straight to the vest. He never deviated much from the style that he started and that he developed in the 50s. He wasn't a guy who, like a lot of other cats who into the 60s were doing albums on Prestige where they would do Beatles covers or Burt Bacharach covers and things like that. He never went commercial for whatever reason. Didn't do anything schmaltzy as far as I know. I know he has things on CTI that I don't have, but anyway, I thought I'd do a brief intro to Art Farmer and show some records and talk about him. Art Farmer he was born in Iowa. Early on, he moved to Phoenix with his family, and then he went to high school in LA, where he started, developing as a musician and went pro. I think he even played with Charlie Parker a little bit in LA, but his real professional footsteps began when he moved to New York. And he had a long career. His first recordings were in the late 40s, and he recorded pretty much all the way up until the end. He passed away in I think it was 1999. So I think it was like 71, 72 when he passed away. Beautiful player, very lyrical player, warm player, flowing lines. He was very individual without being out of the ordinary, I think, is a way to think about it. And he just was very consistent throughout his career. So yeah, I'll show some records and do a little talking about him. I have a bunch of Art Farmer. So here's one. This is one of his earliest recordings. This is 1953, and this is it's called Art Farmer Septet plays the compositions and arrangements of G.G. Grice and Quincy Jones. This is an OJC. That's that one. Keep on going here kind of quick. This is an album just called Art, and this is on Argo in the mid-50s. Here's another one on Argo called Perception. Classic lineup. Harold Mayburn, Tommy Williams, and Roy McCurdy on drums, Argo. And this is 1961 at NOLA. This is one a lot of you know, Farmer's Market. This is 1956. Hank Mobley, Kenny Drew Addison Farmer, Art's brother, and the great Elvin Jones on drums. That's 1956. Here's one on contemporary portrait Art Farmer. This is 1958. Quartet with Hank Jones, Addison Farmer, and Roy Haynes. Getting into the 70s, Art Farmer on the road. This is on contemporary as well. Art Pepper is on this too. Probably right around when he got out of jail, I believe. So yeah, nice one from Art Farmer. Obviously, this is an interesting session. This is on the Sonnet label out of Europe. This is from 1974. It's called A Sleeping Bee, and if you can see the back here, he's playing with some Europeans, with some European musicians on this session. Specifically, you have Jan Schaefer on guitar, and Sabu Martinez on percussion, and some other European musicians. And this has the classic Roy Ballard import sticker. This is an interesting session from Roy, or Art. Sorry, a little bit different from everything that he had done up to this point, but nothing avant-garde or nothing fusiony. Keeps it straight to the tradition. Big Blues with Jim Hall on CTI. Great live session. Art Farmer at Boomers. You talk about a classic lineup. Art Farmer, Clifford Jordan, Cedar Walton, Sam Jones, and Billy Higgins. You can't get more solid than that. And one of the most incredible versions of I Remember Clifford, a 10.5-minute version of I Remember Clifford, and a 13-minute version of Round Midnight. Just for those 2 tracks alone, this is worth picking up. And the other thing about Art Farmer records, I mean, things have become so expensive these days. I mean, don't get me started about how ridiculous prices are and all the forces that created the ridiculousness of the prices. But Art Farmer records, back in the, when I was first started buying jazz, and even into the later years, you could pick up a really good Art Farmer record for $6 or $7. I have no idea how much these are now. They still should be cheap because there's just not a high demand for whatever reason. Anyway, he kept putting out a lot of records into the 80s. Here's one on Soul Note, and this is called Mirage. Clifford Jordan's on here. He had done work with Clifford Jordan earlier in his career, and so they kind of built an association. So this is on Soul Note called Mirage from 82. And again, just really good, bop-based jazz, but warm and lyrical and flowing. And he has a very, the one thing I forgot to mention is he started out playing trumpet, but then he had an accident. I think it was due to a car accident in the 50s. So he switched to flugelhorn. So his flugelhorn has that beautiful, majestic, ethereal type of sound. I don't know whether adjectives there are to use. So he has, it's not just his playing, it's the tone. Just like any great guitar player, it's all in the tone. Beautiful, beautiful playing. Art Farmer. Here's one on, another one on contemporary from 88 called, what is this called? It's called Blame It On My Youth. Don't get scared by that happy cover. I don't like records that have happy covers. Or at least it's hard for me to even inspect them because I see that and I'm like, he looks too happy. I don't like happy covers. But this is a great session. You have Clifford Jordan on here as well, James Williams, Ruford Reed, and Victor Lewis. So he has some younger guys in here who were younger at that time. Still a beautiful, beautiful record. Top shelf. Here's one, Art Farmer, Benny Golson Sextet, Jazz Tet, and obviously they had an association earlier when they had the Jazz Tet. Then I'll show a few of those. This is live at Sweet Basil in New York, 1986. And again, the lineup: Art Farmer, Benny Golson, Curtis Fuller, Mickey Tucker, Ray Drummond, Marvin Smitty Smith. Really, really nice record. And again, you could probably find this these days for $6, $7, $5, $4. Who knows? Nice one. And here's some other ones. So I want to show some other, deviating from just his sessions where he led. He was, of course, in the famous Jazz Tet with Benny Golson. This one is called Big City Sounds, and this is on Argo. What a pairing Art Farmer and Benny Golson were. Not talked about as much as they should in terms of just a team. Here's another Jazz Tet album, Live at the Birdhouse. This is on Argo. This is live 1961. Art Farmer, Benny Golson, Thomas McIntosh on trombone, Cedar Walton, Thomas Williams, and Albert Heath on drums. Great, great session, that one. So I have some. He was a sideman on a million albums, or not a lot of albums. Here's one. He's on the Teddy Charles Tentet. This was recorded 1956 on Atlantic. You have Art Farmer, Gigi Grice, J.R. Montrose, George Barrow, among others. He obviously, I'm missing a few key ones actually. I'm missing his classic albums with Gigi Grice. I still have to find those. Don't get me started on passing those up. Horace Silver, he played on this session. I think he might have played on one or two others. This is Further Explorations by Horace Silver Quintet with Clifford Jordan. That's where he first, gained his association with Clifford Jordan. Yeah, solid record, of course. So now I'm going to just, I don't want to take too much of your time here on a Saturday afternoon or morning or wherever you may be in the world. So I quickly thought I'd show my favorite. I mean, I love all these records I just showed, but I want to show some of my favorite Art Farmer records. This is Time and the Place. This is a double. It was originally a single album, and then Columbia put out this double of this extra tracks. That I think this originally came out in the I don't know. It came out in '82. This is live stuff from 1967 at the Museum of Modern Art. And here he teams up with another classic lineup: Art Farmer, Jimmy Heath, Cedar Walton, Walter Booker, and Mickey Roker. I mean, come on. But here, what makes this really special is Art Farmer and Jimmy Heath as a front line. Their interplay is just fantastic. Jimmy Heath, I think this is some of my favorite work of Jimmy Heath. They're not getting advanced, nothing out, not even close, but they're still pushing it, and there's rhythmic, and there's swing, and there's melody. Fantastic record. Highly, highly recommended. Art Farmer, Time and the Place. Beautiful session on Inner City, The Summer Knows. Again, a classic lineup: Art Farmer, Cedar Walton, Sam Jones, and Billy Higgins. I mean, come on. You don't get more solid than that, right? Inner City, and this is 1976, recorded in New York. When I Fall in Love, I Should Care, The Summer Knows. Beautiful, beautiful music by Art Farmer. Now we're going to get into one of my favorite just duos of all time, and that's the Art Farmer when he teamed up with Jim Hall. This is Live at the Half Note on Atlantic. Jim Hall is obviously a great guitarist, and the teaming of them, their interplay with each other, and their the sensitivity amongst their playing is incredible. And I just wanted to read one thing here on the notes. Martin Williams talking about Jim Hall's sound. For me, the basic beauty of his sound lies in the fact that he never seems to pull, pluck, grab, or even stroke a string of his guitar. From the sound of him, Jim Hall seems to get his music simply by touching his instrument in the right places. That's what Jim Hall sounds like, and I've always felt that's what Art Farmer sounds like. It seems like he's playing with energy and grace and a little bit of fire, but without even trying so hard. It just flows. He has these really flowing lines. Great record, and they made a number of albums together. Here's one on Atlantic, Sing Me Softly of the Blues, Art Farmer Quartet. Atlantic sometimes, to be honest, other than the Coltrane stuff, Atlantic can be boring to me. Obviously there's Ornette too. A lot of Atlantic records are boring, sorry, and there's a certain experimentation going on here, little sprinklings of experimentation in the rhythms and the song structures, but there's nothing, they're not trying to be avant-garde about it, and it's that interplay with Art Farmer and Jim Hall, Steve Kuhn on piano, Steve Wallow on bass, and Pete LaRocca on drums. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful record. Here's another one, Art Farmer, Jim Hall, Interaction. The same kind of a thing. There's that slightly advanced, but still in the beautiful side of the universe. On Atlantic, Jim Hall with Art Farmer, Interaction. And last but not least, could be my favorite Art Farmer record, To Sweden with Love, also with Jim Hall. Kind of cheesy cover, but beautiful music. That interplay with Hall and Farmer really creates something special. So yeah, I'll let you go. I just wanted to crank through that because I had it on my mind, and I knew if I let it go, as I usually do in life, I would have procrastinated for another 6-8 months or 2 years. That's it, James. Take care. See you soon. Later.